Do you know of any specific instances where you came across people getting certain things like put in their contract that they can't do? Like Chris Hogan can't play lacrosse.
No one talked about that stuff.
Yeah, okay.
You know, like maybe JPP, no firecrackers. All right, it's time for the Chill Zone, brought to you by Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/GWN. Celebrate responsibly. I do that to my daughter all the time. I just start singing shit, so she'll start listening. Because you just start singing to them and they listen.
That should be in the parents' book. None of this count to three and sing, baby.
All right, what are we doing today? Today we're hitting the comment section?
We're hitting the comment section. The best or the worst place on the internet. Today, we're finding some gems in there. Some questions that you left us, some comments you've been leaving us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, you name it. We went through there. We found some good ones. Keep them coming. We wanted to keep doing this, and we love chatting with you any way possible, whether it's the voicemail, the comment section, the DMs. We love the feedback, and this is fun. We haven't done this in a while.
That's it.
Let's do it.
Should we get into it? You want me to read our first one off here?
Yeah.
Read them off, Bubby.
This is from Brian Kemet on YouTube. I'd love a segment on any, quote, dangerous things players aren't allowed to do while under NFL contract, either in season or out of season, like ride a motorcycle.
Well, they can specifically negotiate, or they can specifically put in things like motorcycle if they know that person is a motorcycle driver. But they have one thing that covers everything. If you get hurt doing something other than football, you could lose your money.
Any other physical activity?
Like,
Anything.
Just like
if you get hurt, yeah.
Shout out Dustin Penner.
So like skiing, parachuting, this, that, playing basketball.
Pickup ball.
If you get hurt, technically, they don't have to pay you.
What about training? If it's like...
See, that's where the gray area is because you're trying to better yourself for the sport. Because I've hurt myself in training, but they covered that.
Okay.
But if you're going to, you know what I mean? But it's kind of a gray area unless they specifically say it in certain things, in certain people's contracts. Because remember, Drew came on here and said he went skiing even though he wasn't supposed to?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
You know what I mean?
So, like, in theory, you could be like, dude, skydiving's part of my training routine.
If I can't scuba, I can't scuba, what's all this about?
Yeah, right.
That's the whole point. Okay, that's interesting.
Do you know of any specific instances where you came across people getting certain things like put in their contract that they can't do? Like Chris Hogan can't play lacrosse.
No one talked about that stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Like maybe JPP, no firecrackers.
4th of July, the GM calls him up. What are you doing over there, JPP? What's on tap for today?
Man, it's so I get so scared whenever I light the fireworks now,
bro,
because of that.
Fireworks are dangerous, man.
And my dad used to say it all the time: blow your fingers right off.
Frank was right,
and it will.
Oh my God! Stick to the sparklers.
Sparklers,
it's safe for all. You want to get into the next one?
Next one. Sorry, I don't know the dangerous stuff.
I know we love.
Can't do anything
because if you get hurt, my business.
I'm not going to blow up anyone's spot, but the irony of this episode.
Oh yes. Sorry. Oh my goodness.
What?
No, this is the Ted Karras episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, because we went on a dirt bike ride?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Forgot about that.
We didn't go on a dirt. It was like we were on Super 73s.
It was a simulation. It was like a
Travis Pastrana backflips.
Yeah, right.
I'm just
Boy,
kidding.
did he not know how to drive it.
Oh my goodness.
That's surprising to me.
Nothing like some good old peer pressure.
He lied too. Yeah, ride dirt bikes. You see, he treats me like an older brother or something, or like,
He was very nervous about peer pressure coming here.
Yeah, I know.
I will not put into Julian's peer pressure.
He folded like a lawn chair. Next, we have a YouTube comment question from Jelly899. Do you get paid extra for appearing in the TV network's pregame hype videos like they have leading up to the Super Bowl or other big games?
What do you mean?
Like when you're like in uniform, like holding a ball on like Sunday Night Football, and you're like,
No.
oh, I'm looking cool.
No.
Does that happen before the game, or does that happen at the beginning of the season?
That happens usually the week you're still at your home stadium. So NFL
For the Super Bowl.
For the Super Bowl. Right when you get to the Super Bowl, you get there a week early. You have like a day dedicated for certain guys to go do media obligations for the networks.
That's just like a green screen, like in a room.
It's like a
down in
green
the bowels of the
screen.
stadium.
They'll bring in a group of guys. We do it preseason for our team individual stadium stuff and like what our team uses. And then you kind of do that same thing, but for the network, whoever's hosting it, and the NFL that week. So you do that before the week. You don't get paid extra. That's part of your contract.
Now, what about for just like a regular like Sunday Night Football? Because they do some media stuff for that too. Is that beginning of the year?
That's beginning of the year.
And like NBC will come in and shoot with some people?
No, you do like our team. I think our team's production will take
stuff for NBC.
For NBC,
CBS
for
wants some
CBS,
stuff.
for Fox.
Because they know the schedule.
Because that's your schedule.
That's your media day.
Yeah, because you do it like you do it for like different things.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's all pre.
I always like seeing in that when there's a guy that like his drip will be a little different than it would be like on field.
So you can always tell who didn't go to those days because they have the same one from the year before. They just you look at Brady. I think his was from like 8 years ago. He had to finally do new ones when he went to Tampa. But
what about the old like Monday Night Football where it's like you just like it's the cutout and you say your name, you say where you're from.
Rand University.
Yeah, so you do that day.
You do that
before
day.
the season.
Before the season.
Oh wow! So you got to play in your joke high school like pretty early.
Cool
Yeah.
high school.
You
Woodside.
gotta go early with it.
You say Kent State.
I
say
gave
Woodside?
a couple. I said college. I never used them though. I never thought about it going into like I was thinking about the team we were playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, I never thought about it. Where I think I did College of San Mateo for one.
Cool.
Kent State, and then I just did like Redwood City. And then I just did one that said Taike Mate.
What's that?
I think it's like fight till death in like either Samoan or.
So cool.
But it was something we all used to say at our football teams back in the Bay. We would be like Taike Mate.
I love that callback.
So like we made it kind of like a figure of speech. Like you're part of Taike Mate.
That's tight.
Wow. And there was anyone being like, "What the fuck is that?" Just say your goddamn
Yeah.
school.
The guy behind.
Yeah, the guy behind.
Can you just say Kent State, asshole?
No, you do Kent State last.
Yeah, you do the give him the straight line one last.
Yeah, you go.
The Kent State University.
Oh, because you know they're gonna keep that. So, but you get off like 5 or 6.
Get some fun. Was like, all right, cool, slappy.
Julian Edelman, Redwood City. Julian,
Redwood City, 49ers.
It's like the guy in like picture day, the guy taking in school, and he's like, all right, like just get the one I can show your mom, and like that you'll actually
Did you
buy.
get a haircut for a picture day?
that's the thing. Sometimes you'd be fully off blast.
They
No,
just catch you off guard.
Just like, oh, it's
yeah,
media
like, so
day.
that you go up in the locker room, you go up in the bathroom, and everyone's getting all cleaned up and stuff for the fucking stupid shit we got to do.
Oh shit, it's picture day.
Yeah, so you see guys getting all cleaned up.
It's always funny when like a guy will be in there and they show like the full body when he's like just wearing sneakers and his full jersey.
Yeah,
And you guys always like a lot of times you don't wear pads. It looks so goofy.
Yeah, it looks
yeah.
hilarious.
We didn't wear pads.
Yeah, it
and
looks
we
so-
love that because it sucks putting those pads
Oh,
on
God, I
with those
can't even
game
imagine.
jerseys.
But it looks goofy. It
It's
does look
hilarious.
dumb.
Should we get to another one here?
That was a good
Which
question.
one? Let's do one more.
Okay. This is a comment from a silent swag.
Also YouTube.
Also YouTube, cool username. I have a potential question. This is practice related. In any sport, practice is perfect. Are practices different on/off season, early/late season? And what exactly is practiced? Certain plays, creating a play the team/player likes. When do you merge, in quotes, wide receivers with the QB and O-line? I never played football. I'm just curious. Thank you.
So instead of doing that whole thing, 'cause that's a lot. Yes, practices are different between off season and off season, early season, late season. I'd like you want to dive into more on when are units. When does wide receiver go to offense? Go to full team? Like, what is the differentiation there? The different like periods for.
Well, it changes usually team to team, but it's all pretty much similar. Usually teams will stretch it and get a dynamic warm up as a team. Or first, usually you have 3 hours on the grass.
Run us through the 3 hours in the grass as fast as you
or
can.
2 hours on the grass. There's some amount of hour. It's like 2.5 hours. It's 2.5 hours on the grass, but you can only have a certain amount of periods and a certain amount of practice time.
Okay.
So what you do is you get to the grass early and you walk through. Offense and defense will be on different fields, and we'll be walking through what we're doing that specific day. If it's Wednesday, it's usually early downs, first and second downs. So we'll just say it's Wednesday. If it's Thursday, it's third downs and move the field. And Friday's red area, and it's kind of a little bit of everything, like Fast Friday. So Wednesday, you get there, you walk through your first and second downs that you just installed in the 3 hours of meetings you had before. So the coaches always say this in the front of the day, the top of the day. They'll say, hey, let's bring the classroom to the drills to the 7-on-7, the 7-on-7 to the team. And that's kind of how the practice goes. So you get in, you do your walkthrough, you walk through every kind of damn play you're probably going to do. So you're putting that in your head. It's giving you confidence. You're getting a mental walkthrough rep on a look that you're probably going to see in practice. You're cementing things into your brain through walkthrough, and it's usually like, the scout team on the other side, or it could be coaches on the other side because we're walking through, and that's where the Ernie cards come in play, where we're walking through all the plays before practice. The scout team guy will go up to the scout team, put up the card and say, hey, guys, this is it, and then the offense comes out. And then on the other field, the defense is doing the same thing, but with defense emphasized. And then you come together, and like the back 5 minutes of that, special teams get to walk through. So that day could be kickoff, return. So kickoff and kickoff return will go over their installation of what they went through the 30-hour meeting that they had before practice. And they walk through how they're going to do it. That could be a drill. That could be an emphasis on whatever the scheme is for that week. They'll do the exact plays that they're going to do in practice. Then we come together as a team. We do a dynamic warm-up stretch. And then we get then you go to after that, you have usually a offense and defense will break up. And the offense will do some kind of warm-up drill, but that emphasizes that week's game plan. So we would do a no huddle, half speed, still warming up. Quarterbacks haven't warmed up yet, but still getting stuff that we need to emphasize for that week. We'd do a walkthrough or a NASCAR of all the plays. One group would do a play, the next group would do a play, and we'd go run and still warming up. You do the bags with Coach Ivins, and you do that. And then we go and the quarterbacks warm up in one part of the offensive field. The linemen go with the linemen, usually scar and do what they do with their punch techniques and warm them up. They usually always had the plates. They used to warm up a lot, like actually have to do crazy shit. The running backs would go with Ives and do their warm-ups. They would do more bags and stuff. And the receivers, we would do our cone drills, our warm up our cuts. Coach O'Shea, usually we would start with, your get off, just a receiver stance, get off, catch ball, and then we go into a top of a curl route, a box drill where you're emphasizing out cuts. You run, there's a box, boom, 5 yards, 6 yards apart. It's not a real straining drill, but it's an emphasis drill on how you're supposed to cut at the top of your routes. And at the end of that box, you'd be on the sideline, so you'd do a sideline tap. There'd be some sort of maybe distraction drill if we were dropping balls or something. He'd work in anything that he felt we needed to practice on. Maybe we were having a lot of in-cuts that week, so we were doing in-cut emphases. We always work on that return route because that's a kind of a tricky route that guys get fast on, include like me. I would get fast on that route. And, there's a real coaching point where you stick that foot to the quarterback so you really get that weight distribution. We would do the tops of those things to get us warm. And then we would, after that, that's 10, 15 minutes. So we've already been on the field for probably 35 minutes. Then you get a 10-minute period with the quarterbacks, and you go routes on air. So you'll go through your game plan.
No defense or defense?
No defense. Defense is doing the same stuff, but for defensive stuff on the other field.
Okay.
So this is where all the skill guys kind of get together, and there could be routes on air that week. Because usually early down day, that's a Wednesday we're talking about. There could be some field, like big comebacks off of big play actions or something like that, first and second down. Like different routes that we're not always accustomed to running, or it could be a game plan route. We'll all have our spot, and Tom would pick our X's over here, F's over here, Z's here, running backs here. We're all together. Tom would call the play. All right, I got the X. 0 outside. He'd call his play. We'd run that, and then the other quarterbacks could hit a different guy. But Tom would pick the guy he'd want to throw to. You know what I mean? Because that was the throw he want. And we'd do a series of those. And then after that, we're warmed up. We had individual period. We had kind of a group period. Then a special teams period would come in, and then in between those practices, we may have had some kind of emphasis for receivers. There could have been a special screen footing or something. We'd go work with Chad and the quarterbacks. The quarterback would go work with the linemen as well to do blitz pickup. They're working on blitz schemes and stuff. So there's always work within the work. So we're not technically on period because it's special teams, but we're still working things in between. And then after that, we come together. That's when it's one-on-one period. So linemen are with the linemen. That's the first introductory to defense and offense. So you're already like six periods in. You've been getting a lather in.
Fully lathered.
This is when you need to be up because we're going one-on-ones. Receivers, DBs, they're going one-on-one. Tackles, ends, guards, tackles. Linebackers are going one-on-ones with the running backs. It's one-on-one period. You know what I mean? So, it's kind of like this usually is the kickstart to the day. How is it going to be? First one-on-one-on-ones, you got to win. Because it sets the whole tempo of the drill, and it could set the tempo for the fucking practice, because it's a competitive period. The DBs, they're trying to fucking stuff you, that's how our practices were, and then we do one-on-ones, and then after one-on-ones, there would be some, before that, thrown in there, one of those periods, there's like a ball security drill. So talking about what do we practice, there'd be some kind of ball security drill we'd do. There could also be an open field tackle drill that would be incorporated in those first 6 periods. But after we get to those one-on-ones, we go to 7-on-7s, and then there's like inline run with the offense and defensive line linebackers. Or offense, defensive line, they do their own little 7-on or 9-on-7 or whatever they do. And the skill groups would go do 7-on-7, and that would be like scripted period. We'd already walked through that before practice, right? We've already kind of done those emphases in the drills that we did that day, right? So it's all emphasizing to get to the 7-on-7. So now we're executing as a team. We warmed up on our one-on-ones. We did all our warm-ups as a team. Now it's 7-on-7. So then we go into that. We want to have a great period, no balls on the ground. We want to win the fucking period because it carries over to the next fucking period. And then after that, we may have one, maybe two of those, but that's usually one period. And then we have like 3 teams. And then in between those, there's like special teams. Now each period goes from like 6 to like 7 minutes. So, and it's real efficient. So you're going from this stuff to that stuff to that stuff, because we have only a certain amount of dedicated time that we can be on the field in our collective bargaining agreement. So when we get to those teams, it's like, all right, now we're going against, there could be one team period, or usually we're going against scout team on those periods.
11-on-11?
11-on-11, team. Scout team, defense is on one side, we're on the other. We're going against each other, right? So there's usually like 3 teams. At the end of that, we would sometimes have like a competitive period would be 1-on-1s.
Oh, nice. Best on best, baby.
Yeah. And, on a Wednesday, if we were doing shitty in the red area or we were doing shitty in like 3rd down, we would go and coach would say, fucking, all right, ones, competitive period, third down, we would go in and we would practice third down early in the week just to get a head start on it when we know that the day is Thursday or Friday. Or we usually go over 2 minute. Monday was a bit, or Wednesday was a big 2 minute. What we like to run in 2 minute at the end of practice also can help condition us. And after all the teams are done, we had special teams. There's probably like 4 or 5 special teams periods. We go and we would condition, do like the hill like 6, 7 times, 5, 6 times, depending on what time of the year it was and how much we really needed. And then you come up as a team, and that's practice. Then after that you have 50 or 45 minutes to either get some food, get a little treatment, and then we go, or it could be 30 minutes. And then you go right into watching practice. You watch the whole practice.
As a team or with position group?
Coach could have 7 plays that he highlighted. Belichick, team meeting, he could have 7 plays from that practice that he highlighted, maybe in the the one-on-one, 2 one-on-ones, 3 one-on-ones that he highlight and sit and go over on good example of what to do, bad example of what to do, coaching point that we talked about. Then he'd go into like 7-on-7s. Maybe a young guy did something good that he struggled on early. Bill would highlight, look at, good job on this. You worked hard this week. Even and when guys got called on that stuff, that like made your life. Like those practices. Like if Bill highlighted you as a young guy, that made your life.
Oh man, I can't even imagine.
Know what I mean? Then he'd jump into like, every once in a while you get a little something fun in there. Maybe like one of the coaches got hit in the head on the sideline by the ball.
Maybe Ernie cracked his head open.
Like that, and Bill would rewind it like 10 times. It'd look, hey, Ives, you got to keep your head on a swivel, huh? Getting hit in the head with the fucking...
Man, when you're working that hard and the days are that long, you got to mix in the fun.
Yeah, well, it wasn't a lot of that, but there was those every once in a while.
I'm so glad we picked a quick question.
I had like 10 questions after that, too.
No, that's awesome.
I'm sorry.
We should do a whole post game on like a day in the life, like a single day, and we just do that again.
I'm so down.
But
Jules, put a bow on it. Arrival to exit, what was the times looking like usually? You got there super early, though.
I got there super early, but to be there, 8 is team meeting, or 7:55 or 7:45 was start the day right.
Jeez.
So we had to be there 7:45 till we would get out at 4:30.
Okay.
So it's that's what you also had to get like a workout in. There's also stuff that wasn't mandatory to be there, but was kind of mandatory, but you do on your own hours.
Wink, wink, yeah.
Well, that was the Chill Zone. Thanks to our favorite beer, Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/GWN. Celebrate responsibly.